Close button. Transcription has started. Gemini is taking notes and may improve them with call control.
So, hello all. Good evening, good morning, everybody.
Customize notes settings. Close button. Menu button.
So, today just we'll discuss what is accessibility and who should consider accessibility when you're building a software product or a CRM software, any digital product, be it presentation, document, slides, or a website application, anything. What is the reason for considering accessibility and why it is important? So, countries like US and Canada and UK, they have separate laws for accessibility. They have accessibility laws and they have a department which help to execute or implement this law, and they also have a penalties lawsuits which can file under this law, right? So businesses, companies in these countries which have accessibility laws, now they are integrating accessibility into their products because of the law, right? They can avoid the lawsuits. They can get compliance report and have a smooth journey with this government or with this country. Because of that, they are making the products accessible. But technically, considering accessibility into your business or into your product, which really helps your customer base, which helps your customer base increase a lot. And when you also have an accessibility in mind with your product, let's say a person with disabilities uses your website and an application, and make sure you made it is accessible, it is usable by any other disability. And one person with disability came to your website and he uses that website. Now he can bring 3 4 people from him, right? He gets the trust, he gets the loyalty to that website because of accessibility. Now he brings 3 more people to buy something from your website, maybe his parents, maybe his friends. Now, making the accessibility is not only helping for people with disabilities, it also actually helps the busy users, the busy customers, because accessibility in turns it helps everyone, not only person with disabilities. Now, if you put a captions to a video, it not only helps the deaf people, it always help people who are commuting and who wanted to watch that video on mute, right? So, and if you provide an alt text to the image, it is not only helping for the blind users who read that image description, that alt text with the screen reader. It also helps when you have a poor internet. Instead of loading the image, that alt text will load. So because of your all the images in your website have an alt text, because of that your search engine and your search engine optimization ranks first in that way. And your Google search engine is also blind, so it only reads audio descriptions. It reads only the labels which have given, headings you have marked, the semantics you have made in your website. This make your website top of the search engine optimization. These accessibility things make your website rank top in the search engine optimization. And see, now we discussed accessibility importance, what is the problem for it. Now, I wanted to say really accessibility is not the checkpoint or the testing methodology. Rather, it should be a process management system. It should be change in the process management system. Now, when you see software development life cycle, we have test designing, development, and testing stages. Now, when you include accessibility in the testing stage, it always problem for users, or it always the problem for the developers, designers to fix all those issues which are given or which are tested end of the software development life cycle, not in the initial stages, right? Now that's why we call this as shift left movement, shift left accessibility, integrating accessibility in the development and designing stages. Now it can reduce the accessibility issues, but we cannot say that by integrating accessibility into designing and development, it cannot ignore all the accessibility issues. Still, you have to test at the end to clear the accessibility issues. But integrating in the designing stage and development stage is much more better way. So this process, we need a change of thinking from an accessibility point of view, right? So instead of thinking like a checkpoint or a law compliant, you need to change as an process management system, or you need to integrate, or you need to sensitize about accessibility, inclusion, usability to all the company members. Even if he is an HR, he's a developer, designer, no matter what, he is a founder, CEO, CTO, anybody, he should have a sensitization about accessibility, disabilities, right? Then they can make an accommodation for people with disabilities, and they can build a product for people with disabilities which is accessible and usable. So that's how it is. Like, if you talk about accessibility, there are a lot more opportunities in the space of accessibility, and all the use cases uh, for person with disabilities. Let's say a person have a wheelchair and he cannot able to stand up, right? Now that is one of the use case. Now there are companies who made wheelchairs which makes them to stand and sit in that wheelchair itself. Now this is the use case, and this use case bring into the
Are
mainstream
you
by
still there?
adding.
Dialogue. Stay in the call button. Leave now button. Stay in the call. Out of region.
So innovation, by adding innovation, and they are making that solution to the challenges. Now every use case, every corner problem or a challenge faced with a person with disabilities, now they are creating into a mainstream solution and selling it for everybody. Now when you take a Meta Ray-Ban example, we we are seeing this Meta Ray-Ban, Meta Oakley glasses, right? Now those use case, that Meta glasses use case, is especially helpful for the person with disabilities, and particularly the blind people, low vision people, right? But Meta Ray-Ban is not selling for only blind people, it is selling for everybody in this world. Now you have to think like that. Like, accessibility is not only for person with disabilities, it's everybody, right? Now when you design a use case which helps person with disabilities, even if it is you know a corner case, or even if it is a edge case, and you have to design like a mainstream product, you have to follow a universal design principles, you need to follow some things to make it mainstream and sell it for everybody, including person with disabilities. Right, that is accessibility, right? Accessibility doesn't talk about including everybody. It brings everybody into one picture, right? It is helping person with disabilities and also everybody, like who doesn't have disabilities. Now, when you're talking about this thing, when you're creating a product or when you have a solution for some certain disabilities, now it is only working for them or it is not working for other users who doesn't have disability. That means you're not following the accessibility and universal design, and you're not designing for the mainstream, or you're creating for an individual accommodation, or you're creating a personal solution, customized solution at a personal level, right? Those are not universal things, those are not mainstream things. So everything, like even if it is mainstream or even if it is a personal accommodation thing, it doesn't matter. What makes them go certain things and do actions with this technology or with this assistive strategies, right? That is accessibility. And that's all for today. We'll catch up next time again, and thank you all for watching this video. Thanks a lot, and follow this channel for more insights in accessibility.
Meet. Chip. Call. More. Rate. Turn. Bit. On. Back. Reframe but. Call feature. People but. More active. Meeting details but. Meet. J. Call feature notifications and actions region more activity. Meeting. But open. People button collect. Gemini is taking notes button collect. Main landmark. Backgrounds and effects. Gemini is taking notes. Main landmark. Backgrounds. More options. Gemini. Call control. Turn off. Video set. Turn off. Share screen. Send a reaction. Turn on captions. Raise hand. More options. Leave call button. Call cast this meeting. Recording 2 of 11. Recording panel is open. Also. Gem. Side panel complementary landmark. Stop recording this.